Welcome back to the deep dive. If you're involved in rolling out new tech, especially AI, there's that initial buzz, right? The big launch.
Yeah.
You've got the budget, the cool name for your internal assistant, maybe something like the Navigator. You do the whole rollout, teasers, maybe some gamification, leaderboards.
Exactly. That whole high energy push, it's exciting.
It is. And it gets people logging in, trying it out.
Yeah.
Crucial first step.
Absolutely. That initial burst, we sometimes call it novelty adoption. People are curious. There's maybe some pressure to check it out.
Right.
But the thing is, and this is where our sources really hone in, that initial phase can be a bit deceptive. Implementing AI, it's not like flipping a switch. It's not a one-and-done project that ends when the launch cake is cut.
No, definitely not.
The real challenge, the pivot, is moving from that splashy launch to, sustained everyday use across the organization, long-term integration.
And that's where things can fall apart. We've seen it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Great tools, maybe 80% adoption in month one.
Mhm.
And then 6 months later, you look and it's down to 20%.
Yeah.
People just drift back to their old spreadsheets, their email
It
habits.
happens all the time. All that initial investment just stalls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our mission today really is to unpack that. We're diving into the source material to distill what it takes to make that adoption stick.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about 3 critical pillars.
Right.
If you want that AI assistant to become truly indispensable, like a trusted partner, you need ongoing education, you need deliberate trust building, and you need robust strategies for continuous improvement.
And this is key. All 3 absolutely have to be backed by visible commitment from leadership. Without that top-down support.
Well, they're just ideas, aren't they? Good intentions.
That's the framework.
Okay.
Let's dive in. Pillar
Yeah.
1, education. This is foundational. Okay, curiosity gets people in the door, but what keeps them using it? It seems to come down to confidence.
Yeah.
This idea of resistance rooted in uncertainty really struck me. If I don't feel totally sure how to actually use this thing effectively, I'm probably just going to avoid it. That's exactly it. And organizations often make the mistake of treating AI education like, say, a software update. You get a mandatory 1-hour webinar and that's it.
Check the box. Done.
Check the box. And it just doesn't work, almost never. The insight here is that education has to be continuous and it has to be personalized. It needs to build comfort and familiarity over time. We're not just teaching clicks and buttons, we're teaching a new way of working.
So it's much more than just the initial, here's the manual, here's the FAQ.
Oh, way beyond that. Education needs to be woven into the daily workflow. Think ongoing support, quick guides they can pull up instantly, short video tutorials for specific tasks, maybe workshops focused on real use cases.
Okay.
And that personalization is vital. A manager trying to analyze complex sales data needs very different guidance than, say, someone on the front line handling customer queries.
Right, that makes sense. That distinction is crucial.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like a sales rep, I don't really care about the fancy manager dashboard.
It's your priority.
No. My priority is, how does this save me time? I need training that shows me, step by step, how this AI can cut down my manual follow-up time by, 30%. Something concrete.
Exactly. That's tailored learning, proving the value directly to that user group. And to fight that uncertainty we talked about, you need easily accessible resource libraries.
Accessible being the key word there.
Absolutely key. Not buried on some intranet page nobody can find. They need
Yeah.
to be searchable, easy to digest. Think like 2-minute videos showing common tasks or really good FAQs that tackle the friction points head on.
Yeah, because if it takes me 5 minutes to find the answer, I've already given up and done it the old way.
Precisely. And you can't let up on reinforcement. Education isn't just fixing problems, it's also about celebrating wins. Regular updates about new features, sure, but maybe even more powerful. Sharing success stories. Sarah in marketing used the Navigator and launched her campaign 50% faster. That kind of story makes the value real for people.
It encourages others to try it, yeah. Okay, so education builds familiarity, makes people comfortable. But comfort alone doesn't guarantee they'll rely on it. Sometimes comfort can even hide skepticism, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Which brings us neatly to pillar 2. And this one feels, well, it feels like the trickiest one emotionally. Building trust. We have to tackle that anxiety people feel about whether the AI is reliable, if their data is safe, if the AI's judgment is any good.
Trust is absolutely the bedrock. It's non-negotiable for sustained use. If users suspect the system is unreliable or maybe biased, or they just don't understand how it works, it's opaque, they'll just stop using it, full stop.
So how do you build that trust? What are the mechanisms?
The sources point to two main things: transparency in how the AI works and produces outputs, and establishing clear ways for human oversight.
Okay, let's take transparency first. What does that really mean here? Is it just sticking a label on it saying AI wrote this?
It's deeper than that. Transparency means being clear about how the AI reached its conclusion. What data did it use? What are its limitations? So instead of just showing a summary, the system might say something like, AI generated this report using Q4 sales data and customer sentiment scores from last year.
Ah, so it helps the user understand the boundaries. They see the ingredients, so they know it's not some magic black box. It's a sophisticated tool working with specific data.
Exactly. It manages expectations, prevents people from either distrusting it or, maybe just as bad, over-relying on it blindly. And the other huge piece, which tackles that fear of being replaced, is human oversight.
The human-in-the-loop idea.
Precisely. You have to build in options for people to review the AI's suggestions or decisions, and crucially, to override them if needed. It's the organization saying, look, this tool is here to help you, to augment your judgment, not replace it.
I wonder, though, if the AI gets really good and it's right most of the time, won't people just start rubber stamping the reviews? Doesn't that override just slow things down eventually?
That's a fair question, and it's a potential pitfall. But the sources emphasize something really interesting, that human override isn't just a safety net. It's actually a vital mechanism for mutual learning.
Mutual learning. How so?
Well, think about it. When a user reviews an AI suggestion and decides, no, that's not quite right, and overrides it, that action is incredibly valuable data. It's like a strong feedback signal to the AI model.
Ah, okay. So the human is essentially teaching the AI in real time when it gets something wrong.
Exactly. That correction, the human input, is gold for refining the AI. It helps minimize future errors, reduces the risk of the AI making things up, the hallucinating,
Right.
and keeps the model aligned with the nuances of the real world, which are always changing.
Mhm.
So the override builds user confidence, yes, but it also ensures accountability and makes the whole system more resilient because both the human and the machine are constantly learning from each other.
That's a great point. Trust leading directly into iteration, which is a perfect bridge to pillar 3, continuous improvement. So we've got people comfortable, we built some trust, but now maybe usage starts to dip after the initial excitement, or maybe usage stays high, but people aren't actually completing tasks effectively.
Mhm.
How do we track success after the launch buzz dies down, and how do we adjust?
You absolutely cannot manage this long-term without keeping a close eye on key metrics, real-time monitoring. And we need to look way beyond just counting logins.
Okay, so what are the crucial indicators?
Things like daily active users, DAU, are people using it every single day. That signals habit formation. Then task completion rates.
Mhm.
Is the AI actually helping people finish their work faster or better?
Right.
We also need to track things like system response times. Is it fast enough? And importantly, user sentiment. Actually asking people how they feel about it through surveys or other feedback channels.
Let's dig into DAU for a sec.
Mhm.
Daily users, not just monthly, right? Because daily implies it's becoming part of the routine.
Exactly. Monthly active users, MAU, might just pick up people logging in once a month for a report or something. DAU shows real integration.
But what if you see high DAU, lots of daily logins, but task completion rates are low? What does that tell you? People are logging in but not getting things done.
That pattern is a really important strategic insight. Low DAU often points back to pillar 1, maybe awareness or training issues. People don't know about it or how to use it.
Okay.
But high DAU with low task completion, that usually signals issues with the tool itself. Maybe the features are too complex, maybe it's too slow, maybe it's just not designed well for the tasks people are actually trying to do. They're trying to engage, but they're hitting roadblocks.
So the metrics tell you where the problem likely is. Dropping engagement might mean more training. Low completion might mean you need to fix the tool itself, simplify the interface, refine features.
Exactly. And that's where feedback loops become absolutely invaluable. You have to make it easy, even encourage users to share their frustrations and ideas. Formal surveys, sure, but also maybe simple in-app feedback buttons. Or even just informal chats. The people using it every day, they are your best QA team.
And I suppose when employees see their feedback actually making a difference, like They suggest a change to how prompts work, and then they see it in the next update. That must build a real sense of ownership, right?
That's incredibly powerful. That feeling of, okay, they're actually listening to me, my input matters. That's a huge motivator for people to stay engaged long term.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it's not just about fixing problems. The sources also stress fostering a culture of experimentation. Don't just fix what's broken, grow what's working. Encourage teams to find new ways to use the AI, automate another tedious task, build a custom dashboard, and then celebrate those wins publicly.
Okay, so we have the three pillars: education for comfort and familiarity, trust built through transparency and that crucial human oversight loop, and continuous improvement driven by metrics and user feedback. But pulling all this off, the ongoing training, the monitoring, the iteration, it takes real effort, real resources. What keeps this whole thing from just fizzling out after 6 months when other priorities pop up?
That's where the anchor comes in. Leadership commitment. It's the essential scaffolding holding everything up. Executives, leaders, they have to see AI integration not as a one-time IT project with a fixed budget.
Right, not just capital expenditure.
No. They need to see it as an ongoing operational commitment with a sustained budget for maintenance, training, and improvement. If the leaders aren't visibly championing these efforts, the training programs, the feedback analysis, the metric tracking, they will get sidelined when budget pressures inevitably hit.
So visible endorsement means more than just sending out a memo saying the AI is important. It's about demonstrating it's a strategic priority through actions.
Absolutely. It means leaders consistently allocating resources for iteration and training. It means them talking about it, sharing progress updates, recognizing teams who are really nailing the integration. And critically, it means embedding continuous improvement goals for the AI directly into the regular strategic planning process, quarterly reviews, annual plans.
That's a really deep point. So the AI's performance isn't just some IT dashboard metric. It becomes a core business KPI, sitting alongside financials and market share.
Exactly. When you review the business performance, you review the AI performance too. Is it delivering value? Is it aligned with where the business is going? That ensures the AI doesn't just become obsolete or drift away from what the organization actually needs. It prevents it from becoming just another siloed tool only one department uses. That top-level commitment is what truly weaves it into the fabric of the company.
So let's picture the organization that pulls this off.
Yeah.
They navigate past the launch hype. They sustain adoption through these pillars. What's the payoff? What's the ultimate outcome?
Well, when the learning is continuous and that transparency really builds deep trust, the AI stops being just a tool or a novelty. It becomes an integral part of how the organization operates, a genuinely trusted, collaborative partner.
Wow.
And that shift, it drives significant productivity gains because people are confident, they're skilled, and they actually rely on the AI to do their jobs better.
That sounds like a fundamental transformation. So, wrapping up this deep dive, getting AI adoption to stick long-term isn't about the launch. It's about the follow-through. It requires persistent, focused effort on tailored, ongoing education, on building trust through transparency, and especially that human oversight piece, which is also a learning mechanism,
Right.
and embracing continuous improvement driven by solid metrics like DAU and task completion, and fueled by genuine user feedback, all underpinned by that visible leadership commitment.
It's a significant commitment, no doubt, but the payoff is huge. Because ultimately, the goal here isn't just about making things run a bit more efficiently today. It's about cultivating a more innovative, adaptive culture throughout the entire organization. It's about building a business that can truly thrive amid constant, rapid technological change. That ability to learn, adapt, and integrate a new kind of partner, the AI, that's what builds real organizational resilience. And that's what separates the truly integrated organization from one that's just bought some new software.